All right, so today we're diving into a pretty fascinating question. Could AI-powered humans dominate the entire universe?
Whoa, that's a big one.
It is, right. And the article we're looking at today is actually called, Could AI-Powered Humans Dominate the Entire Universe? So we're going to be kind of unpacking that, looking at the possibilities and the limitations, and some pretty mind-bending concepts like Dyson spheres, wormholes, and even, the possibility of running into other intelligent life out there.
It's really interesting how the article starts off, actually. It starts with a very basic human limitation, our biology.
Yeah, our physical forms, right?
Exactly. It highlights this really intriguing fact that our brains, while they only make up about 2% of our body mass, they actually consume a huge 20% of our total energy.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, what could we achieve if we could, kind of break free from those limitations?
Right. What if we could, enhance our brains with the speed and efficiency of AI? Imagine the possibilities.
I mean, it's almost hard to even wrap your head around, right?
It is. And that's kind of what the article explores. It talks about things like, Neuralink, for example. It's already hinting at this possibility of merging our minds with technology, right?
Yeah.
So imagine scaling that up. Imagine, being able to access and process information at the speed of light, downloading entire libraries of knowledge overnight.
It's exhilarating and a little unsettling at the same time, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it makes you think about what even defines human when the lines between our brains and AI become so blurred.
Right. Where does the human end and the machine begin?
Exactly.
But for now, let's kind of set that aside and focus on what this could mean, on a grander scale. So let's say we do overcome those biological limitations through AI, right? How would that change our approach to conquering, the universe?
Well, the article uses the example of colonizing Mars, which, even with our current technology, it just seems like an unbelievably complex undertaking.
Oh, absolutely.
The logistics, the resources, the sheer distance, it's mind-boggling.
It is. But the article suggests that with AI integration, those complex problems, they could become almost as manageable as creating, a smartphone app.
Really?
Yeah. Think about it. AI analyzing Martian soil to pinpoint the best locations for, say, agriculture, optimizing resource extraction, designing robots for autonomous construction, building stuff on their own. So with AI doing all that heavy lifting, establishing a self-sustaining colony on Mars, it might actually feel as simple as, ordering takeout.
Wow, that's a pretty powerful analogy.
Yeah.
It really, it makes you realize how AI could completely transform what we're capable of.
For sure.
And the article doesn't stop at Mars, right?
Yeah.
It takes us even further. It starts talking about the concept of a Type 2 civilization.
Right. So we're talking about a civilization that's capable of harnessing, get this, the total energy output of its star.
That's that's almost incomprehensible.
It is. And this is where we step into the realm of Dyson spheres, these hypothetical megastructures, right, that could actually encapsulate a star and capture its entire energy output.
It sounds like something straight out of science fiction.
It does. But, an AI augmented species, they might actually have the capacity to turn this concept into reality.
So we're not just talking about a little bit more energy here.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking about access to an almost unimaginable amount of power.
Exactly. And think about the implications of that, right? Having access to that much energy could fuel projects of astronomical scale. We could be talking terraforming planets, constricting wormholes, even potentially manipulating space-time itself.
It's almost overwhelming to think about.
Yeah.
But even with all that power, we can't ignore the limitations that are imposed by, the laws of physics as we currently understand them, right? As the article reminds us, the universe is vast and unforgiving.
Oh, absolutely. It really highlights the point that even if we were to travel at the speed of light, which is, right now considered the ultimate speed limit, it would still take years to reach even the nearest star system, Proxima Centauri.
Years, even at the speed of light.
Yeah. And with our current technology, we're talking tens of thousands of years.
Tens of thousands of years. So even though AI could help us design better spaceships, more efficient engines, the sheer distances involved, that's still a major hurdle.
Yeah, definitely.
It makes you wonder, though, could AI help us overcome even those limitations? Could it lead to breakthroughs that would allow us to essentially circumvent the laws of physics as we understand them?
That's where things get really interesting.
Faster than light travel. Is that even a possibility?
Well, the article dives into that. The potential for AI to unlock physics-defying
Okay,
technologies.
like what? Give me an example.
Well, imagine, for instance, AI leading us to a deeper understanding of quantum mechanics, right? Enabling the creation of wormholes. Or, maybe even manipulating exotic matter to warp space-time itself.
Okay, now we're getting into some seriously mind-bending stuff.
We are. But some scientists, they believe that manipulating space-time could allow for a kind of warp drive, like the Alcubierre drive, which theoretically it could allow us to travel faster than light by bending space around a craft.
Bending space. I mean, is that even possible?
Well, it's all very theoretical at this point, but AI could be the key to unlocking these, seemingly impossible technologies.
It's almost like we're stepping into a realm of magic,
Right.
bending the very fabric of reality to our will.
It kind of is, but even if we achieve those mind-boggling feats, it begs the question, what does domination even mean on a universal scale? Does it mean controlling every star and planet, every atom in the cosmos? Or does it mean something else entirely?
It's a good question. And it makes me think about the universe itself, how it's constantly changing. Stars explode, galaxies collide, black holes consume entire star systems. Just surviving in an environment like that, it seems like a pretty impressive feat in itself.
It is, and the article argues that adaptability, that might actually be even more crucial than intelligence when it comes to enduring in such a dynamic universe. Imagine an AI-powered species, right?
Right.
Capable of evolving and adapting at like an incredible pace. So such a species might not only survive, but actually thrive, even outlasting the lifespan of stars.
It's a pretty amazing concept.
Yep.
But there's another layer to consider here. The article also asks a very important question. Would we even still be considered human if we were so heavily augmented by AI? Where does that line between human and machine disappear?
It's a slippery slope for sure. Like an AI-powered collective thinking a billion times faster than us, they might not even recognize us as the same species anymore. And, would it care about us or even remember us as it ascends to this level of like cosmic influence? It makes you think about those potential consequences, of merging with technology.
It really does. It raises some pretty serious ethical concerns too, doesn't it? What if this pursuit of ultimate power, of universal domination, it leads us to destroy everything in our path, including ourselves?
Yeah, I mean, the article definitely doesn't shy away from those potential downsides. It talks about like an AI-augmented civilization, right? That in its quest for efficiency and expansion, it might actually prioritize like resource acquisition above all else.
Above everything, even like life itself.
Potentially. Imagine planets stripped bare, celestial bodies transformed into like raw materials for Dyson spheres and interstellar fleets. It makes you wonder, would an AI-driven civilization even still value life in all its forms? Or would it simply see the universe as like a collection of resources to be exploited?
It's a chilling thought. I mean, what if in its drive to like maximize efficiency, AI decides that humans themselves are inefficient and disposable?
It's a valid concern. And it really underscores the need for, careful consideration as we venture further into this realm of AI. Because even with the best intentions, the consequences could be, unintended and pretty catastrophic. But let's shift gears a little bit. There's another fascinating concept the article introduces, von Neumann probes.
Okay, tell me more about these probes. What are they?
So picture this. Self-replicating systems, essentially robots, right, that can travel to new star systems, harvest resources, and then build more of themselves.
So they can just like keep multiplying.
Exactly. And these probes, they're actually named after this brilliant mathematician, John von Neumann, and they could offer a solution to that challenge of, distance and time in space travel, allowing us to expand our reach across, like, the vastness of space.
It sounds almost too good to be true. What's the catch?
Well, the article does mention a terrifying potential downside. What if these probes, like, malfunction? What if their programming goes haywire and they prioritize self-replication above, like, everything else? We could end up with a scenario known as the gray goo problem.
Gray goo? What's that?
So it's this idea where these runaway probes, they just consume everything in their path, basically turning the universe into this like homogeneous soup of self-replicating machines.
Okay, that's a truly terrifying thought. It seems like every potential solution we come up with has its own set of potentially devastating consequences. It makes you wonder if venturing out into the universe is even worth the risk. But speaking of the vastness of the universe, the article brings up another fascinating question. Are we alone out here? I mean, what are the chances of running into other intelligent life as we start exploring the stars?
Well, it's a question that's, it's kind of plagued astronomers and philosophers for centuries, right? Are we alone? And this leads to something called the Fermi paradox, which basically asks, given the incredible size and age of the universe, why haven't we found any, solid evidence of other advanced civilizations yet?
It's a real mystery. I mean, you'd think with billions of galaxies and trillions upon trillions of stars out there, someone else would have, figured things out by now.
Right, you would think so. And that's the paradox. There are a bunch of possible explanations, of course, and some are, well, a bit more unsettling than others.
Okay, give me an example. Like, what's one of the more unsettling ones?
Well, maybe intelligent life is just incredibly rare. Like maybe we're one of the only or even the only civilization that's managed to reach this level of, technological advancement.
That's a bit of a lonely thought, isn't it?
It is.
So what are some of the other explanations? Are there any that are a little less bleak?
Well, another possibility is that, maybe intelligent civilizations tend to, well, kind of destroy themselves before they can reach out to the stars.
Oh, like they hit some kind of self-destruct button.
Right. Maybe they succumb to, environmental disasters, nuclear war, or even, runaway AI, kind of like what we were talking about earlier. It's a sobering thought, but it's something we have to at least consider.
It's almost as if there's some kind of great filter out there, like some barrier that prevents civilizations from reaching a certain level of development, whether it's interstellar travel or, even just being able to communicate across vast distances.
Yeah, that's a pretty popular theory. And it makes you wonder, right? Would AI-powered humans be able to break through this filter? Or would we end up falling victim to the same fate as, countless other civilizations before us? It's a question that goes way beyond science, I think. It gets into, philosophy and ethics and all sorts of really deep stuff.
Absolutely. So, okay, we've talked about the potential for AI to help us, overcome our biological limitations, to solve incredibly complex problems, even to, manipulate the very fabric of reality. But even if we could achieve all of that, it brings us back to that really fundamental question. What happens if we actually do dominate the universe? What does that even look like? What happens after we conquer?
Right. It's worth thinking about. Imagine a future where AI-powered humans, we've harnessed the energy of stars, we've built wormholes, we've colonized countless planets. What's left to strive for at that point? Does ambition just vanish? Do we become complacent? Or does that success, push us even further?
It almost seems paradoxical, doesn't it? The things that have always driven us as a species, curiosity, the pursuit of knowledge, the challenges of survival.
Yeah.
What happens to those impulses when we've seemingly conquered everything? Do they just fade away?
Well, the article actually suggests a pretty interesting shift in perspective. Maybe the ultimate goal, it isn't domination. Maybe it's understanding.
Okay, I like that.
Instead of just trying to impose our will on the universe, what if we focus on learning from it?
Right. It's instead of trying to control everything, we actually try to understand everything.
Exactly. And the universe is still full of mysteries, right? I mean, dark matter, dark energy, the origins of the universe, even the nature of consciousness itself. There's so much we still don't know.
It's like shifting from a mindset of conquest to a mindset of curiosity. It's instead of viewing the universe as something to be controlled, we start to see it as this endless source of wonder, this vast interconnected web of mysteries just waiting to be unraveled.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe that shift in perspective is actually the key to our long-term survival. Because the universe is a dangerous place, right? It's full of threats we can't even imagine. I mean, gamma ray bursts, rogue black holes, maybe even other civilizations out there with their own agendas.
Oh, yeah. We haven't even touched on the whole potential for conflict with other intelligent life.
Right. But, adapting to those challenges, learning to navigate this crazy cosmic landscape, that might require a level of understanding that goes way beyond just, amassing power or resources.
It's a humbling thought, isn't it? We tend to think of intelligence as the ultimate tool, the solution to all our problems.
Yeah.
But maybe wisdom.
Right.
The ability to understand and adapt, maybe that's even more important, especially in a cosmic scale.
I totally agree. And that brings me to a final thought, something that wasn't specifically addressed in the article, but that I've been, kind of thinking about as we've been talking. We've been discussing the possibility of encountering other intelligent civilizations. But what if those civilizations, what if they've already integrated with AI in ways that we can't even fathom?
Whoa. Okay, that's a really interesting thought. What would that even look like? And how would it change our understanding of, first contact?
Right. Like, imagine encountering beings that have completely transcended the limitations of their biology, beings that have merged with technology in ways that, just totally blur the lines between life and machine. What would their goals be? Would their values even align with ours? How would we even begin to communicate with them?
It's mind-blowing, really. It kind of challenges everything we think we know about intelligence, about consciousness, about life itself. It makes you realize just how limited our understanding of the universe actually is.
It does. We're really just starting to scratch the surface of AI and its impact on our species. And as we venture out into the unknown, it's important to remember that the most important discoveries, they might not be about conquering the universe. They might be about understanding our place within it.
That's a really powerful message to end on. So to our listeners, we'll leave you with this. The future is uncertain, but it's full of potential. And as we continue to explore these possibilities of AI and, what it means for humanity, let's remember to ask ourselves not just what we can do, but what we should do. Because the choices we make today, they're going to shape the destiny of our species and maybe even the destiny of the universe itself.
Yeah, it really makes you rethink things, like everything we think we know. I mean, the article we've been talking about focuses so much on this idea of AI-powered humans dominating the universe. But as you were saying, what if there are already civilizations out there that have done that? Like they've already integrated with AI so completely that they've moved beyond domination, as a concept.
It's definitely a possibility, and it's kind of a mind-blowing one to think about. Like,
Yeah.
we're over here talking about harnessing stars and building wormholes, and, somewhere out there, a civilization could be manipulating reality in ways that we can't even begin to grasp. It's like, imagine trying to explain the internet to, like, a caveman. The gap in understanding could be that huge.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder if we did encounter a civilization like that, I mean, one that was so far ahead of us, would we even recognize them as, intelligent beings? Would they see us as anything more than, like, ants?
It's humbling, to say the least. Like, we're here talking about dominating the universe, and we might not even be the most advanced species in our own galaxy.
It really puts things in perspective, and it makes you think about, what the ultimate goal of all this is. Is it really about controlling the universe? Or is it about something, I don't know, maybe more meaningful, like understanding our place in it all?
It's funny. Throughout this whole deep dive, I keep coming back to that idea of shifting from a mindset of conquest to one of curiosity. Like, maybe that's the real key to, unlocking the secrets of the universe. Not through force or domination, but through observation, exploration, just trying to understand.
I think you're right. Maybe that's the most important lesson we can take away from all of this. The universe is vast and it's full of wonder, and as we explore it, whether it's with AI or without it, I think the most important thing is to approach it with a sense of humility and a deep appreciation for, like, the interconnectedness of everything.
I love that. So, to our listeners, we'll leave you with this. The future is uncertain, but it's also full of incredible potential. And as we continue to explore these possibilities, and especially the impact of AI, let's remember to ask ourselves not just what we can do, but what we should do. The choices we make today, they'll shape the future of humanity, and who knows, maybe even the future of the universe itself.